We see it in the news, and we see it in our communities. Marijuana availability and popularity has grown in the U.S. 33 states have some form of legalization, and in 2018, marijuana sales reached over $10 billion. Now, people may use marijuana for various reasons, but one particular reason may be post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, which is a mental health disorder where someone experiences psychological distress following a traumatic event. Although PTSD may be why someone uses marijuana, it's currently unclear whether marijuana use helps or harms PTSD symptoms. Some studies have shown that PTSD symptoms decrease with use, where other studies have shown that marijuana symptoms or PTSD symptoms increase with marijuana use, particularly with increased frequency of marijuana use. Now, in order to understand these conflicting results, I'm interested in going beyond frequency of marijuana use with PTSD by understanding how a trauma survivor is capable of controlling their marijuana use during moments of emotional distress. So I surveyed 306 trauma survivors who had used marijuana within the last month, and we assessed frequency of marijuana use, PTSD symptoms, and control over marijuana use in 3 different contexts: in social situations, when marijuana was readily available, and during moments of emotional distress. Now, using hierarchical regression, I proposed that initially, increased frequency of marijuana use would predict increased PTSD symptoms. However, when the other variables were considered, I expected to see that increased control over marijuana use during moments of emotional distress would predict decreased PTSD symptoms over and above the other variables. Now, our results suggested that these hypotheses were correct, where initially, increased frequency of marijuana use predicted increased PTSD symptoms. However, when the other variables were included in the model, increased control over marijuana use during moments of emotional distress predicted decreased PTSD symptoms, where frequency of marijuana use, control in social contexts, and control when marijuana was readily available did not predict PTSD. Now, these results suggest that marijuana use alone may not strictly account for an increase or a decrease in PTSD symptoms. It might be that a survivor's capability to control their use during moments of emotional distress really relates to their trauma recovery. With the growing availability and popularity of marijuana use, it is essential that we disseminate this information so that trauma survivors can be informed related to their use and their PTSD symptoms. Thank you.